So despite the hype and the awesomeness that was awaiting in this episode of Dragon Ball Super, all the previews and a lot of worries because Goku's new mode was going to crash the internet, it did not turn out to be the case. I'm going to be straight up honest. I think episode 129 and 130 that we got on the way, that should have been the 1 hour special instead of 109 and 110. Do I think the half Ultra Instinct should have been incorporated then? Maybe. That's up for you to decide, because now that's kind of been made pretty much pointless at this point because it wasn't matched, and I wonder if it was really smart blowing the load with the promotional posters that we saw early on in this arc of Goku's half Ultra Instinct mode, I guess you can call it now, because it wasn't perfected. Instead, they should have saved the time and effort for this 1 hour special because the ramifications are now complete. The Goku is pretty much, he's come full circle from the time this was set up, from the resurrection of F arc or movie, where we pointed out to Vegeta and Goku, you're not in control of your movements, you're thinking without reacting, and you can't do that. That was the foreshadowing of Ultra Instinct. What we got at the end of this episode was Goku pretty much doing just that. He's able to master evasive, Ultra Instinct, and now offensive with this episode, and now he's become even more formidable for Jiren. And next, in the next episode, Jiren's going full power, topless and all, so is Goku. So that's going to be the finale. And given that there's no episode next week because we're on break because of an event in Japan, like I said, I think this should have been the 1 hour special coming into this episode. In fact, the very first scene that we see is the angels looking on and reasons of explanation of Goku's Ultra Instinct, and something that he pointed out that we already kind of knew. Goku is 2-0 with the Ultra Instinct. He couldn't master it because obviously he had to think about on his defensive attacks. Obviously with Jiren, it was the same thing here. He only just awakened it. He couldn't do that. He lost to Jiren, and then with Kefla, even though he won, he still ran out of Ultra Instinct because he still had to think about his moves, which led to the sick evasive Kamehameha. Goku tried the same thing here, but in this case, Jiren read through his moves and he saw his fight with Kefla, and he was anticipating this attack, so he blocked it with one hand and sent Goku flying. And Goku actually used the Kamehameha to actually block the initial blow, so he didn't take all the damage, so Goku could master Ultra Instinct. And obviously the two character traits go to Vegeta and Beerus, my two personal favorites in Super, because Vegeta's like, yo, you don't know anything about Saiyans. We've surpassed our limits over and over again, even in this arc, and Goku's going to do the same thing. And I love how Vegeta's the one to actually motivate Goku. I don't know if he heard him or not, but obviously it worked because he's throwing hands like shockwaves, rapid fire shockwaves that Goku couldn't dodge. And once Vegeta said, though, to Bamal, don't underestimate Saiyans, that's where Bamal said, yo, end it now. We cannot play games anymore. That's when Jiren came down with the rapid fire punches, shockwaves, and then Goku finally unleashed an offensive move in Ultra Instinct. They call it Jiren by surprise. A really good blow, by the way. And even at that point, Goku's new mode had not been revealed. Goku was still fighting with Jiren. He was the throwing fisticuffs. You have Whis there spectating like Goku right now. Pretty much pointed out what we already knew. If Goku does not get it right this time, if he runs out of Ultra Instinct, there's nobody to help him out. There's nobody to give it energy to heal him if he runs out of Ultra Instinct. But I think a lot of people are forgetting Frieza's still in this tournament. So again, what's going to happen with only a couple of minutes left and one episode to go in this fight? We could assume what's going to happen. And for sure, Frieza's not getting the wish, because that would mean all the casualties in the tournament power will not get wished back, and that's not going to happen. It's going to end in a tie because both can't get the wish. So unless they go into overtime, as granted by the Daishinkan was another interesting spectator in all this. And Beerus was the one that said Goku's finally done it, hasn't he? He's finally learned Ultra Instinct, and Beerus has got that smile, but if you look at his eyes, he's like pissed off. Goku's like, he's an amazing guy, and I think Beerus has realized that he's been surpassed already. So and it's a shame we'll never get that fight because we never got to see Beerus at full power, but I don't think it matters anymore. That's why Jiren was here to I think it's a cop-out personally, but either way, we're getting Jiren at 100% finally. And even when Goku was mastering his Ultra Instinct and using the heat around him to like draw in more power, that's like, okay, that forced Jiren to smile. I was like, yo, Goku, I'll respond by showing my full power. He uses that energy blast with one punch, man. He obliterates the energy blast from Jiren. He shoots up and dodges straight past Jiren. And I have a question: does this form have any limitations? Because if not, Goku's just become broken, even more so than ever before. So that's going to be interesting. And if you notice, even though Jiren is going all out, Goku does not seem to be having difficulties whatsoever. So again, are there limitations? If not, Jiren's done. It's over, because we know where we're heading with the finale. Like I said, I think personally these this episode and 130 should have been the 1 hour special, my personal opinion. And overall, even though Dragon Ball Super was not perfect, what your initial thoughts of this? And now we're 2 episodes away from ending the series. Like I said, next week there's no episode. On the 18th we've got the final round of Jiren vs Goku. I can't wait for that. And on the 25th will be the final episode of Dragon Ball Super. So it's going to be mixed emotions one way or another, and I've enjoyed Super throughout for what it was. It wasn't perfect, but it was entertaining while it lasted. So let me know what you guys think down below. That's it from me. Thanks so much for watching. Like this review if you did appreciate that. Subscribe to have more Dragon Ball Super. Catch you guys later.